Alright, Sanxian Invasion V1. This is the People's Liberation Army versus the United States Marine Corps. For this operation, I will be representing the 14th Amphibious Combined Arms Brigade of the PLA. This is derived from Operations Order 24-01, and this is your consolidated mission and execution brief. The entire Operations Order document, as well as this presentation, will be available alongside the brief. As a reminder, this is for training purposes only. This is fictional, this is unclassified, and this has no real-world significance. In summary, I will cover the situation to include the AO, enemy, and friendly forces, the mission of the 14th ACAB, the execution of the operation to include the commander's intent, key tasks, and the phases of the operation. I'll then cover the team and squad composition to include vehicles, fires, and intelligence, and finish with a practical demonstration. The AO for this operation is the Sanxian Islands in the Indo-Pacific. This is prime territory for amphibious assault and island hopping. There are 4 sets of capture points: Phase 1 on the south coastline, Phase 2 on the west and east islands, Phase 3 at the power plant, and Phase 4 at the ridgeline silos. The enemy forces for this operation are the United States Marine Corps 1st Battalion 5th Marines. They have amphibious assault capabilities such as LAVs, Amtraks, and rib boats, and are able to deploy emplacements such as tow missiles and mortars. Friendly forces in the AO include PLA's 2nd Heavy Combined Arms Brigade and PLA Navy Marine Corps' 3rd Battalion and 4th Special Combat Battalion. The mission of the 14th ACAB is to defend Chinese territory from outside aggression, provide forces equipped and trained to enhance China's military posture, and to attrit the enemy's strength to reduce and restrict their available capabilities. The commander's intent is broken down into 4 key tasks: to defend critical capture points, clear invading forces, establish and harden strategic outposts and FOBs, and patrol controlled territories. This operation will be conducted in 4 phases. Phase 1, deter the enemy and build the force up. Phase 2, defend and harden the rear. Phase 3, regroup and recon. Phase 4, final stand. Phase 1 is focused on the movement to initial defensive positions. Starting with Squads 1 and 2, they will move on foot from the temporary hab to the Phase 1 capture point and throw down a radio, with the exception of their 1 Bravo and 2 Bravo riflemen, who will both take transport trucks from main base to regroup with their squads at Phase 1 capture point. Squad 3, A and B, move on foot from the western temporary hab to Beach Alpha and build deployables such as a vehicle repair station, while 3C takes a rib boat from main base to Beach Bravo. Similarly, Squad 4, A and B, move on foot from the eastern temporary hab to Beach Charlie D, while 4C also takes a rib boat from main base to Beach Charlie. Command takes 3 Lodgies from main base to the area nearest the Phase 2 capture point and builds deployables for Outpost A and B and FOB A and B. Logistics takes 1 truck from main to the Phase 1 capture point, then continues to run supplies to the frontline radios using a combination of Logi, rib, and helicopter. If the armor becomes available during Phase 1, the MBT will move to Phase 1 capture point, Armor 1 will move to Beach Charlie, and Armor 2 will move to Beach Alpha. Finally, Scout will take both tracked gun trucks to Outpost B. Okay, and here's what the southern coast looks like during the initial portion of Phase 1, with a radio on each one of the Phase 1 capture points. If Beach Alpha is the Phase 1 capture point, MBT and Squads 1 and 2 will all be here on defense. Otherwise, it will just be Squad 3A and B, Armor 2, and Logistics running supplies. Squad 3 is tasked to build a radio, hab, ammo, and vehicle repair station. If no squad leader is assigned to Beach Bravo, Logistics will need to work with Squad 3C to ensure that a radio is placed, as well as a hab and ammo. However, this radio is dug down post Phase 1, so only the bare minimum is necessary. Similar to Beach Bravo, at Beach Charlie, logistics will need to work closely with Squad 4C to ensure deployables are set, such as a radio, HAB, and ammo. Once again, this radio is dug down post Phase 1, so only the bare minimum is necessary. And again, if Beach Charlie D is the Phase 1 capture point, MBT and Squads 1 and 2 will all be here on defense. Otherwise, it will just be Squad 4A and B, logistics for support, and scout nearby at Outpost B. Logistics works closely with squad leaders to ensure a radio is placed, as well as a HAB, ammo, and vehicle repair station. If everything goes according to plan during Phase 1, this is how the southern island should look before losing any capture points. You can see we have Beach Alpha, Beach Bravo, Beach Charlie, and Beach Charlie D, as well as Outpost A, Fob A, and Outpost B, Fob B. Finally, we have Command securing the Super Fob over a power plant. Phase 2 begins with losing the first capture point, and is focused on repositioning to rear defensive positions. Starting with Squads 1 and 2, they both move to the Phase 2 capture point. 1 Charlie and 2 Charlie may be tasked to seek and destroy enemy FOBs with Scout. Squad 3A moves to Fob A, B remains on defense at Beach Alpha, and C digs down the radio at Beach Bravo, then moves to Outpost A. Similarly, Squad 4A moves to Fob B, B remains on defense at Beach Charlie D, and C digs down the radio at Beach Charlie, then moves to Outpost B. Command continues to Super Fob at Power Plant, then moves to Ridgeline Silos. Logistics continues to run supplies for the team, while MBT patrols Outpost B, Armor 1 patrols the bay between Fob A and Fob B, Armor 2 patrols the area between Outpost A and Fob A, and Scout patrols the Badlands. Once the radio at Beach Bravo is dug down post Phase 1, this is what your Southwest Islands will look like through Phase 4. With Beach Alpha on the south, Outpost A on the west, and Fob A on the east. These HAB locations are determined by the Phase 2 capture points. Squad 3C is assigned to Outpost A to recon the southwest flank. Additionally, Armor 2 will be patrolling between Outpost A and Fob A. Squad 3A is assigned to Fob A to recon the southeast flank. Armor 2 patrols from Outpost A to Fob A, and Armor 1 patrols the bay between Fob A and Fob B. Again, this HAB is determined by the Phase 2 capture point. After the radio at Beach Charlie is dug down post Phase 1, this is what the Southeast Islands look like through Phase 4, with Beach Charlie D, Outpost B, and Fob B. Squad 4C is assigned to Outpost B to recon the southeast flank and surveil for enemy lodges. MBT also patrols this area during Phase 2. Squad 4A is assigned to Fob B to recon the southwest flank, while Armor 1 patrols the bay between Fob A and Fob B. Again, this HAB is determined by the Phase 2 capture point. Phase 3 begins with losing the Phase 2 capture point and is focused on a tighter consolidation of friendly forces. Starting with Squads 1 and 2, they will move to Power Plant for Super Fob defense. 1 Charlie and 2 Charlie may still be tasked to seek and destroy enemy FOBs with Scout. Both Squad 3 and 4 remain on defense, 3 being on the west and 4 being on the east. Command fortifies ridgeline silos, and pending resources deploys a vehicle repair station. Logistics continues to run supplies, while MBT patrols between Outpost B and Power Plant. Armor 1 patrols the bay between Fob A and Fob B, Armor 2 patrols the area between Outpost A and Fob A, and Scout continues to patrol the Badlands. Here are the North Islands during Phase 3. We see the power plant in the middle, Badlands at the east, and ridgeline silos to the west. During Phase 3, Squads 1 and 2 will defend the Super Fob at Power Plant, while 1C and 2C are still available for special seek and destroy missions with Scout. MBT will also be patrolling the area between Outpost B and Power Plant. Phase 4 begins with losing the Power Plant and is focused on defending the Ridgeline silos. Starting with Squads 1 and 2, they will ensure the Power Plant radio is dug down and moved to Ridgeline silos. Squads 3 and 4 remain on flank defense and recon. Deputy Command defends Ridgeline silos, while Commander calls in tactical fire support from main base. Logistics continues to run supplies, while MBT patrols the area between Power Plant and Ridgeline silos. Armor 1 patrols between Power Plant and Fob B. Armor 2 patrols between Outpost A and Ridgeline silos, and Scout moves to patrol between Power Plant and Ridgeline silos. Once again, this hab is determined by whichever set of silos is the Phase 4 capture point. Squad 1 and 2 are nearly identical, with Squad 1 having a Grenadier and light anti-tank primary, whereas Squad 2 has a machine gunner and light anti-tank secondary. Squad 1 and 2's primary focus is capture point defense. Squad 3's primary focus is southwest defense and recon, and remains at these three positions through Phase 4. Similarly, Squad 4's focus is southeast defense and recon, and they remain at these three positions through Phase 4. The vehicles used for this operation are as follows: 2 ZSD logistics trucks for command, 1 RIB logistics boat for logistics, 2 Logi trucks for command and logistics, 2 transport trucks for Squad 1 and 2, 2 RIB boats for Squad 3C and 4C, 2 ZSDs for Scout, the ZBD for Armor 1, the ZTD for Armor 2, the ZTZ for MBT, and the Z8G for logistics. Command Squad's focus is hardening of the rear, and their squad is composed of a squad leader, a medic, and a light anti-tank. Logistics Squad's focus is support, and their squad is composed of a lead pilot and medic. The MBT's focus is Southeast Patrol, and will control the area between Outpost B, Power Plant, and Ridgeline silos. Armor 1's focus is patrolling the center bay, and will control the area between Fob A and Fob B, and Power Plant and Fob B. Armor 2's focus is Southwest Patrol, and will control the area between Outpost A and Fob A, and Outpost A and Ridgeline silos. Finally, Scout Squad is composed of a squad leader, rifleman, medic, and anti-tank, and is focused on patrolling the Badlands. Tactical fire support tasks available for this operation are JH-7A rocket airstrikes and 152mm artillery barrages. Commanders may also utilize UAV recon capabilities. I will now perform a practical demonstration of this operation. This operation begins with Squads 1 and 2 moving on foot from the nearest temporary hab to the Phase 1 capture point, which will be Beach Alpha, Beach Bravo, Beach Charlie, or Beach Charlie D. With the exception of both of the squad's Fire Team Charlie riflemen, who each drive separate transport trucks from main to the respective capture point. Meanwhile, Squad 3A and B move on foot from the western temporary hab to Beach Alpha. Similarly, Squad 4A and B move on foot from the eastern temporary hab to Beach Charlie. Squad 3C and 4C both take RIB boats from main, 3C to Beach Bravo and 4C to Beach Charlie. Command Squad takes 1 regular logistics truck and 2 armored logistic vehicles from main base to a designated area nearest to the Phase 2 capture point to establish Fob A and B and Outpost A and B. Logistics Squad initially takes one regular logistics truck from main base to the Phase 1 capture point. I actually timed the routes of each of the Phase 1 capture points via logistics truck, and concluded that the initial supply run to any of the 4 points is possible, even before the staging phase finishes. However, there is an invisible wall at each of the beaches that halts the supply drop until the end of the staging phase, so the only radio that could be supplied during the staging phase is Beach Charlie D, due to the radio being on the north side of the invisible wall. Logistics Squad then continues to provide supply runs to the remainder of the frontline radios, utilizing a combination of the logistics truck, RIB logistics boat, and helicopter. If the ZTZ becomes available during Phase 1, Main Battle Tank Squad drives from main base to the Phase 1 capture point. If the ZBD becomes available, Armor Squad 1 drives from main base to Beach Charlie. If the ZTD becomes available, Armor Squad 2 drives from main base to Beach Alpha. Scout Squad drives the 2 ZSDs from main base to Outpost B and patrols for US Marines flanking PLA-controlled territory around the southeast coastlines. Beach Alpha. Squads assigned to Beach Alpha get on point as quickly as possible, utilizing nearby transport and logistics trucks, and defend against potential offensive operations by the USMC. Squad leaders and combat engineers work closely with the logistics squad to ensure deployables are set on Beach Alpha, to include, at the minimum, a radio, HAB, and ammo crate. The radio at Beach Alpha can be hidden in this palm bush along the shoreline. The fact that it isn't near any firing positions or walkways means it should remain hidden quite well, and the sound of the radio chatter is somewhat disguised by the sound of the tide breaking on the beach. Though there are many adequate locations for a HAB at Beach Alpha, this building on the northwest side of the bay allows the defending infantry a 2-story overwatch and access to a courtyard, which will both be advantages when Marines invade from the southeast. Squad 3 is responsible for ensuring a vehicle repair station is deployed at Beach Alpha. If Beach Alpha is the frontline capture point, Squad Leader 1 and 2 are able to deploy the vehicle repair station instead. The vehicle repair station at Beach Alpha primarily will be used by Armor Squad 2 as they patrol the southwest islands. Pending available resources, squads assigned to Beach Alpha are tasked to deploy additional ammo crates, particularly in locations where anti-tank personnel can rearm while engaging incoming amphibious assault vehicles. Beach Alpha is used as a strategic frontline position through Phase 4, and is the PLA's primary surveillance beacon of the southeast flank. There are several vantage points to scan the waters for Marines' amphibious assault. This should allow anti-tank personnel ample opportunity to send rockets downrange and resupply behind the safety of cover. The PLA's camouflage blends in quite well with rocky areas and concrete areas on rooftops. Infantry can utilize the high ground to gain a near 360-degree visibility. Beach Bravo. Squads assigned to Beach Bravo get on point as quickly as possible, utilizing nearby transport and logistics trucks and/or RIB boat, and defend against potential offensive operations by the Marines. Squad leaders and combat engineers work closely with the logistics squad to ensure deployables are set on Beach Bravo, to include a radio, HAB, and ammo crate. Beach Bravo's radio is placed in the center of the island on the highest ground. Marines are unlikely to trek up to this part of the island, not to mention, this radio is only meant to last during the first phase of the operation. There are only a couple of hardcover buildings on Beach Bravo's island, so the HAB is built more towards the rear of the front line. Beach Bravo radio is dug down post Phase 1, and therefore only requires the bare minimum of deployables built. This island is very close to the Marines' main area, and therefore will likely encounter heavy armor engagements. If additional ammo crates are built on Beach Bravo, they should be deployed along the southeast coastline. Beach Charlie. Squads assigned to Beach Charlie get on point as quickly as possible, utilizing nearby transport and logistics trucks and/or RIB boat, and defend against potential offensive operations by the Marines. Squad leaders and combat engineers work closely with the logistics squad to ensure deployables are set on Beach Charlie, to include a radio, hab, and ammo crate. The location of this radio allows deployables to be built on the 3-story buildings on the southern front line, as well as in the dense forest to the rear. The hab being out in the forest allows infantry to reinforce the capture point from the rear, instead of succumbing to the typical meat grinder hab if it were placed directly on point. Beach Charlie radio is dug down post Phase 1 and therefore only requires the bare minimum of deployables built. Infantry can mainly defend the point from the pair of buildings on the southern coastline, but anti-tank personnel can cover the flanks to gain a wide view of the attacker's main area. Beach Charlie D. Squads assigned to Beach Charlie D get on point as quickly as possible, utilizing nearby transport and logistics trucks, and defend against potential offensive operations by the USMC. Squad leaders and combat engineers work closely with the logistics squad to ensure deployables are set on Beach Charlie D, to include, at the minimum, a radio, hab, and ammo crate. This radio is discreet enough that Marines shouldn't be able to find it easily, and it allows friendlies to easily recon Marine logistics trucks as they leave their main base. The hab is placed up in the dense forest on the western border of the radio and allows infantry to move onto point unnoticed. Squad 4 is responsible for ensuring a vehicle repair station is deployed at Beach Charlie D. The vehicle repair station at Beach Charlie D primarily will be utilized by the MBT squad as they patrol the southeast islands. Pending available resources, squads assigned to Beach Charlie D are tasked to deploy additional ammo crates, particularly in locations where anti-tank personnel can rearm while engaging incoming amphibious assault vehicles. Beach Charlie D is used as a strategic frontline position through Phase 4, and is the PLA's primary surveillance beacon of the southeast flank. Directly to the east of Beach Charlie D is the Marines' land vehicle spawn, post Phase 1. Recon from Beach Charlie D is integral to the Marines' failure to bring supplies into offensive operations. Strategic bunkers can be built along the eastern coastline to watch the enemy's movements. Outpost A. While squads are defending the Phase 1 capture point, Command establishes FOBs A and B and Outposts A and B in the order determined by defensive priority. Command squad deploys, at a minimum, a radio, hab, and ammo crate. There is so much irrelevant land around Outpost A, the Marines should have no reason to go out looking for hidden radios. This radio placement allows complete control of the western flank and is strategically placed near FOB A's radio. Placing the hab in this bunker allows infantry a very quick reinforcement of the westernmost flank. During Phase 2, Squad 3C digs down the radio at Beach Bravo, then repositions to the southwestern defensive positions at Outpost A. Squad 3C utilizes the intricate terrain and any high ground vantage points surrounding the outpost to recon and ambush invading Marines from the southwest. The PLA can best utilize their uniform's camouflage by hiding along the rocks and embedding themselves within the pre-built pillboxes. Armor Squad 2 patrols the area between Outpost A and FOB A and works closely with available reconnaissance to anticipate offensive maneuvering and flanks and set up defensive ambushes. The ZTD will do some serious damage to any unfortunate Marines attempting to flank around PLA-controlled territory. FOB A. At FOB A, Command Squad deploys, at the minimum, a radio, hab, and ammo crate. This radio placement allows for strategic rear defense of any of the western Phase 2 capture points. It's placed within dense forests and is easily defended. Command Squad deploys the HAB at Fob A nearest to the Phase 2 capture point. Utilizing the natural high grounds, the HAB can be discreet despite being outdoors and seemingly exposed. During Phase 2, Squad 3A repositions to the southeastern defensive positions at Fob A. Squad 3A utilizes the intricate terrain and any high ground vantage points surrounding the FOB to recon and ambush invading Marines. Similar to the terrain of Outpost A, squads should hide along the rocks and within the dense forest and strike enemies when they least expect it. Armor Squad 1 patrols the bay area between Fob A and Fob B and works closely with available reconnaissance to anticipate offensive maneuvering and flanks and set defensive ambushes. Utilizing the amphibious capabilities of the ZBD, control of the center bay of the islands ensures Marines are unable to rapidly deploy armor or reinforcements through direct routes and would be forced to attempt to utilize our flanks. Fob B. At Fob B, Command Squad deploys, at the minimum, a radio, HAB, and ammo crate. Though this radio is placed directly along the main road, it is concealed enough that it should go unnoticed. Command Squad deploys the HAB at Fob B nearest to the Phase 2 capture point. As for the HABs at Fob B, the bushes along the western border of the radio offer a nearly invisible defensive spawn nearby Navy Port, while the HAB location closer to the waterfront capture point is on higher ground, meaning defending infantry reinforcements have the advantage. During Phase 2, Squad 4A repositions to the southwestern defensive positions at Fob B. Squad 4A utilizes the intricate terrain and any high ground vantage points surrounding the FOB to recon and ambush invading Marines. Infantry defending Fob B can utilize the surrounding farmland to surprise incoming land vehicles, such as Humvees and Lodgies. Outpost B. Command Squad deploys, at the minimum, a radio, HAB, and ammo crate. This radio is in the middle of the rocks and the mountain above the closest potential capture point. It allows a very discreet way for Squad 4 to provide much needed recon of the east flank. The HAB is built nearby on the rocks and should remain hidden from the Marines. During Phase 2, Squad 4C digs down the radio at Beach Charlie, then repositions to the southeastern defensive positions at Outpost B. Squad 4C utilizes the intricate terrain and any high ground vantage points surrounding the outpost to recon and ambush invading Marines from the southeast. The terrain around Outpost B is perfect for scouting enemies' logi and transport movements. The dense forest and rocky hills mean incoming vehicles will be forced to stay on the main roads. Main Battle Tank Squad patrols the territory surrounding Outpost B and works closely with available reconnaissance to anticipate offensive maneuvering and flanks and set defensive ambushes. MBT should focus on destroying enemies that wish to overthrow Squad 4's positions. The strength of the ZTZ's cannon means the MBT squad can also provide overwatch of the center bay in conjunction with Armor 1. Power Plant. Command Squad fortifies Superfob defenses at Power Plant to include a radio, HAB, ammo crate, and entry control points. Though there are countless adequate locations of the radio on Power Plant, the ideal location is on the roof, so long as proper anti-air defense protocols are in place. And because of the nature of Power Plant being prime territory for a Superfob, the radio should be secured behind Haskell blocks and barbed wire. Similarly, the HAB could be placed anywhere within the power plant, but the best location would be on higher ground, such as in this room along the northern wall. All entrances to the power plant are secured with deployed entry control points, 4 on ground level, 2 in the basement, two on the second floor, and 2 on the rooftop. Once power plant is fortified, Command then establishes deployables at ridgeline silos. Ridgeline silos. Command Squad continues to fortify defenses at ridgeline silos to include a radio, HAB, and ammo crate. This radio location allows deployables to be built at the high grounds of both of the potential ridgeline silo capture points. It is discreet and hidden along the rock wall. The HAB at ridgeline silos is deployed nearest to the Phase 4 capture point. The HAB can be built along the tree-covered hillside on the north of south silos, or in the 3-story building at the top of the hill on the north silos. Either way, these HABs will ensure the infantry can quickly reposition to defensive posturing during the final stand of the Sanxian Islands. Pending available resources, Command deploys a discrete vehicle repair station to support the friendly armor defending power plant. This vehicle repair station will be utilized by all armor and vehicle squads as they defend the SuperVob at power plant and during the final stand at ridgeline silos. This concludes demonstration of Operations Order 24-01, Sanxian Invasion V1. As with any operation, further assessment is reliant on lessons learned and after-action reports.